second session of Startup Grind I am hosting. I am the co-chapter director for Lahore, and some of you might know that Startup Grind is active in more than 40 cities around the world. And we have 3 chapters in Pakistan as well, one in Karachi, one in Lahore, and one in Islamabad. It's the third organization that is backed by Google for entrepreneurs. One is Nest.io, the other one is Startup Weekend, and this is, of course, Startup Grind. And you probably all read Nahil's bio, but I'll let him do all the talking. So, just share your story. I've heard it a couple of times, but I'm sure they love it.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. If you can't hear me, then please feel free to come a little bit closer. And there's a little bit space over here as well. So, अगर आपको मेरी आवाज़ नहीं आ रही तो फिर फायदा नहीं होगा. So, can you all hear me? Okay, very good. So, my name is Nahil Mahmood, and I started my business about 5 years ago. And when I quit my job and went into business, I had a full load of bills to take care of. And I'll go into that a little bit later, but I'll just rewind a little bit about my profile. So I did my O-levels and A-levels from ISMS in 87 and 89. I went to the US for my electrical engineering degree and came back to Pakistan. I was a slave for 15 years. I'm sorry, 15 years. I was in the industry doing a job, or I was a pure technologist, or I actually loved technology. So being an electrical engineer, I went into the network field, and that was my passion. So networks and TCP/IP or broadband, I did a lot of work in there. In fact, in the year 2000, I joined WorldCall Multimedia in Lahore, which was starting a cable TV project, multimedia cable TV project. And they were starting cable broadband. And this was the first cable HFC broadband network in Pakistan. So there was a team of 250 people. I was a general manager there, and it was great fun. So I eventually did slavery for about 15 years, and then I was getting old. I was turning 40. और मेरे में एक ये चीज़ थी कि I had the जिसको कहते हैं entrepreneurial जरासीम, वो मेरे में अंदर बहुत अर्ली स्टेज से थे. सो आई वॉज टॉकिंग विद फ्रेंड्स 10 years पहले कि यार अपना काम करना चाहिए. और मुझे उधर प्रॉब्लम ये होती थी कि जॉब इन्वायरमेंट में ये प्रॉब्लम होती थी कि एक बंदा आपको आके बता देता है ये काम करना है, वो नैरो सा काम है, और दे डोंट encourage you to do more. They kind of tell you you're not good enough, and if you try to do more, and there's a lot of time wasted in corporate environment, in politics, non-productive pursuit. So if you really want to go out and do some great work, not every corporate environment is suited to do that. So मुझे इन चीज़ों में problem थी, and then I was looking at my boss and his boss and his boss and saying कि मैं भी अगर 10 साल और लगा लूँगा तो मैं कहाँ तक पहुँचूँगा, यहाँ तक पहुँचूँगा. So I mean, this is not what I want to do in life. So I had a lot of issues with the job environment, and मुझे नहीं समझ आ रही थी कि I was like a fish out of water, not belonging there at all. Anyway, जब मुझे 15 साल हो गए तो I promised myself कि ये आखिरी नौकरी है. इसके बाद कोई हिलजुल हुई तो I'm not going to go and do another interview. इसके बाद मैंने इंटरव्यू नहीं करना, because I was looking at my CV and getting embarrassed. ये इतनी 6 दफ़ा नौकरी चेंज कर लिया 15 साल में, तो हाँ ये कब तक चलता रहेगा. So anyway, I jumped, and my story is very interesting. मुझे बिज़नेस का तो तजुर्बा था ही नहीं. I was a technologist. I was a pure techie, right? And in fact, I used to hate sales people. तो असल जो टेकी होता है उसकी पहचान ही होती है कि वो सेल्स लोगों को कहते हैं यार ये क्या लोग हैं, ये तो कोई काम नहीं करते और सारा काम हम करते हैं और ये सारा क्रेडिट ले जाते हैं और आप ही कंप्लेन करते हैं. वो सही टेकी होता है. ऑब्वियसली इग्नोरेंट होता है. दिस इज़ नॉट रियलिटी, बट दिस इज़ द वे रियल टेकीज एक्चुअली फील. वो समझते हैं कि सारी दुनिया हमसे चल रही है, अलग ऐसे नहीं है, which I later realized. So in any case, so I had no business experience. I just wanted to do my own thing, and I had the entrepreneurial jarasim, and एक चीज़ मैंने decide कर ली कि this is a dead end road, यहाँ तो कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. अच्छी बात ये थी कि I was so fed up of the corporate environment कि आगे जो भी challenge होने थे, मुझे ये पता था कि इधर तो कुछ भी नहीं पड़ा. Okay, so this was a good thing. जिसको कहते हैं ना किश्तियाँ जला देना. I had kind of burnt my boats. तो जब मैंने काम अपना शुरू किया So it was a disaster in the first 2 or 3 years. I lost a lot of money, tried a few things, and we lost money, so I had to practically fire my entire team and then pivot. So I pivoted twice. So what we're doing after, so I actually made all the mistakes in the book that you can actually think of. I checked all of them off. I didn't miss a single mistake. And I think because I was a techie, I did most of the mistakes. However, I think that I really matured as a human being, as a person. I learned what business is about. I learned what the world is about. I learned what nature and the world is about. And I really wanted to be independent and do my own thing. So that's what I encourage, and I've given a few talks before at LUMS as well. Now, what we're doing currently is we're doing consulting, and this is my third change. So I pivoted twice. First, we started off with software development and Android and iOS development, and then we went into hardware sales, and this is the third attempt. So my focus has always been information security. This is where I had my expertise. And I was doing a job मैंने वहाँ पे IBM में भी काम किया था, MCB में भी I was heading security. So I went off into the security line, and now we're doing consulting. हम consulting अब कर रहे हैं. We have clients in all the major cities. Alhamdulillah, we're doing well. We're making some money as well. We're not making the millions and the billions of dollars, but we're paying off our bills and we're making a small profit, and which entitles me to do the things in life that I want, and we're growing. Okay. So my case study is of the person who had kids going to school, full bills. When you start your business, you have zero income. Put in my own money, did it alone, didn't have any partners, made all the mistakes, screwed up in 2-3 years, learned the mistakes, started fixing it, fixed it gradually, and converted it into a sustainable business where we still have a small business, but we're sustaining ourselves. And now today, alhamdulillah, we're one of the top information security consulting teams in Pakistan that we claim. And when we go out, we do an exceptional job. We work very hard, and we really make our customers very happy. So we're one of the best companies today in Pakistan in ISO 27001 consulting and information security consulting. Okay, so that's my quick background. But I'd also like to know what you guys are doing, because our future, questions and interaction will depend on what you guys are really doing, where you are. So, thoda sa, so can I ask them
Sure,
what they're doing? So how many of you are currently students in a university or college? Can you raise your hand? Okay, and how many of you have just started a startup in the last 6 months to 1 year? And you're doing that full time. Okay, so full time of career, you're not a student any longer. So how many people, can you raise your hand? Startup 6 months to a year and not a student any longer. Okay, and how many of you have been doing your own business for more than 5 years? Okay, all right, fine, very good. All right, so we have a mix. The seniors are less in number, but the new startups and the students are more in number. Okay, तो आज जो हम बात करेंगे, क्योंकि ये टफ जर्नी मैंने खुद ट्रैवर्स की, तो I know what it's like, and alhamdulillah, if you stick around in business long enough, then you can make it happen. Right? I made it happen, and I was never a genius. I was good, but I was never a genius. So you don't have to be a genius. You just have to stick it out and work hard. So we will talk about some of the reality issues, some of the glamour issues, and some of the reality issues on ground actually kya hota hai. Because in the entrepreneurial field, it's very interesting and gets very tricky as well. I think there is an issue in the industry where there is a slight lack of authenticity, and people will come along and they'll tell you they're doing great and they're doing this and that, and sometimes that's a disservice to entrepreneurs like you, because they won't tell you the real stuff. They'll try to motivate you, but they won't tell you the hard, tough realities as well, because it is going to be tough for you. Okay, so we'll talk about some of the real what I would like to communicate today. One of the things I'd like to communicate to you today is that the good side is there, and it's definitely worth it, and that's why I'm here, to motivate you and to encourage you and to mentor you a little bit. But it's a tough journey, and we have to give you a real articulation that what is the journey going to be like, because the fluff and the glamour and the nice stories and the millions and the billions, that may happen someday, and hopefully it will, but it's a long journey. You know, it's not going to be an overnight hit.
It's also a never-ending process. You always talk about how it's not a destiny, it's probably a journey. Last forever.
That's absolutely right. Okay, so I think let's start making this interactive, and आपको थोड़ा सा introduction दे दिया, but I would like to really address your questions and some of the things you have in your mind. That what is this journey like? So you want to start off with questions, because I can just keep on talking and talking unless you direct me to where you want me to talk. Okay. I have a lot to say, by the way. And another cup of hot tea would be really awesome, if possible. Okay, so feel free, ask any question related to entrepreneurship or technology entrepreneurship, because that's what I did. Okay, Ji, please, we'll go ahead.
Sir, I'm making a medical equipment, so sometimes I feel there is an authenticity issue or a legitimacy issue. For example, I have just done my bachelor's in electrical engineering, and whenever I go to doctors and ask them and do my market research, so whatever जो उनका पहला question मेरी तरफ होता है वही होता है कि आपने PhD कहाँ से की है. And this is the main authenticity, legitimacy issue that I face. Okay. People usually they usually go for your qualifications. और अगर if you ask कि चलें मैंने bachelor's किया हुआ है BA and I've just completed my bachelor's, so the legitimacy or the power to convince them goes from here to here.
Okay, sure. There's a shortcut. You know what the shortcut is? You want to know what the shortcut is?
That would be great.
Grow a beard.
And little tongue.
This is a shortcut. Okay. That was on the lighter side, right? So you look older, and that will take away some of the problems, right? Because obviously people, when they see you and they're in their 50s or 60s, then when they meet somebody in their 30s, then they obviously have this question, which may be a legitimate question, by the way. But are you making hardware or software?
So I'm making hardware and software.
So you're making a device.
I'm making you must know it, clinical decision support system.
Okay.
It's a system that works on AI and predicts diseases based on the quantitative data.
All right.
From sensors.
Okay. Well, that's amazing. I think what you're trying to do is lovely, and that's certainly very innovative and entrepreneurial. Okay. Now, when you go out and meet people in देखें हमारी जो इंडस्ट्री है ना ये बड़ी टफ इंडस्ट्री है पाकिस्तान में. इधर to make an honest living in this country is a very difficult job. To make a dishonest living in Pakistan is a very easy job. But for us it's very difficult because we don't have that grooming and upbringing. तो हम तो वो कर ही नहीं सकते. People who are educated and come from good homes and good values, we can't earn a dishonest living. So we have no choice. So Pakistan is a very tough market, and one of the seniors I know, he said a very interesting thing about Pakistan. It's not a merit-based economy. Okay, so here you have to learn how to maneuver in this market. And for example, अब ये जो ecosystem है सारा जो startups वाला है, ये recently 2-3 साल पहले शुरू हुआ. 3 साल पहले तो कोई incubation center भी नहीं था. आप लोग बैठे हैं incubation center में, trying to help you, and there's some great people here, and you have a lot of stuff to learn, and there's some people to guide you. But there was nothing 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Right? It was absolutely zilch, and even the incubation centers are getting better and better and better. Okay, so यहाँ पे, for example, यहाँ पे when you go out try and get investment, which is required for a new business, so it's practically impossible. You have to spend your own money or ask friends and family, और इसके अलावा कोई तरीका ही कोई नहीं. Banks won't give it, companies won't give it, and so ecosystem नहीं है यहाँ पे. जब आप काम अपना नया शुरू करना चाहते हैं, there's really, you don't get support from all around you. So you have to come up with solutions yourself. Now in your case, the questions that you need to address are: A, are you doing this alone, or do you want a team? Okay. B, how are you going to show the profile of your organization or your setup? You need to partner, show some people as advisors, as directors, as so on and so forth. And so what you have to do is you have to present yourself as an entity which has some substance. Right? If you just walk in alone and say, "Gee, I'm developing this product," they will not take you seriously. But if you show yourself as an organization with, even if they're directors who are not paid directors, but you can still make an organization, register a company, make a website, and show a profile and you can ask guidance from some people who have done this before, and they'll advise you how you can make your profile look interesting, and make your profile look like it has depth, and keep doing what you're doing, but structure it in such a way that when you go and talk to somebody, then they will see that अच्छा यहाँ पे 1-2 LAMS के प्रोफेसर भी हैं, यहाँ पे आपके PhDs भी 1-2 हैं, advisory board बना लें, directors का board बना लें, and none of them need to be paid. Just tell them I need help, I'm making a company, and Okay, so you can do that.
So this is what I have. This is the model that I'm following.
Okay.
I have two professor alums, two from my own university,
Okay.
and two doctors are in my advisory board or panel. So what the problem is कि वो कहते हैं कि ये बाहर मशीन क्यों नहीं बनी हुई और आप बना रहे हैं तो बाहर किसी ने बनाई होगी.
Okay.
This is the problem.
जिनके पास आप जाके ये बात कर रहे हो, what do you actually asking them? What do you need from them?
So I asked them, for example, I'm targeting movement disorders like Parkinson's, essential tremor, dystonia, etc., etc. So जब मैं उनके पास जाता हूँ, I sometimes pay to get time with them.
आप जा किस लिए रहे हो? उनसे बात क्या? What do you need from them?
So I asked them कि is this required for you? I do my market research for them. For example, मैं बताता हूँ, आपके पास इतने पार्किंसंस के पेशेंट आते हैं, अमूमन वो कहते हैं per week 50 पेशेंट्स आते हैं पार्किंसंस के. मैं कहता हूँ इनिशियल स्टेजेस पे how accurate do you think you are to diagnose it? Because this is the problem that I'm trying to solve ना, कि increase accuracy of diagnostics.
Sure.
तो मैं पूछता हूँ कि कितने पेशेंट्स हैं जिनको आपके कितने में मसला आता है. देन आई टेल देम कि अगर एक ग्लव मार्केट में आए और एक अंगूठी या एक रिंग मार्केट में आए, तो if it helps you predict this disease prior to what actually takes मतलब prior to a longer stage, so how will it help you? How it will help?
Sure. देखें, I'm sorry, I just prefer to stand because I think all of you can see me better, right? These are all valid questions, and you are going to have challenges. Okay? The way to address this is that you have to strategize your research methodology and your go-to-market and your product development, all three things. So ये बहुत अच्छी बात है कि you're actually going already, meeting people, and this is just a pilot interaction with the market. How you will actually eventually बेटा ज़रा पानी भी दे दें और ये टेबल यहाँ पे आ सकता है मेरे करीब चाय रखने के लिए. थैंक यू. तो देखें, जब आप मार्केट में जाते हैं ना तो आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ें पता चलती हैं. सो एक एग्जांपल ये है कि if you want to learn how to swim, so can you learn how to swim outside the swimming pool or do you have to go inside the swimming pool?
Inside.
लेकिन आपको स्विमिंग तो नहीं आती अभी, लेकिन आप पूल में क्या करने जाते हैं? आप सीखने जाते हैं ना, क्योंकि आप बाहर तो नहीं चला सकते कर सकते, राइट? ठीक है, तो आप ठीक कर रहे हो कि आपको स्विमिंग पूल के अंदर जाके आप देख रहे हो कि व्हाट डज इट फील लाइक, बट देन यू हैव टू टेक अ स्टेप बैक, मीट पीपल एंड आस्क देम कि जी व्हाट इज़ माय स्ट्रेटजी टू गो टू द मार्केट, who do I need to meet, who are friends and people who can mentor me कि मुझे किस तरह करना चाहिए. So develop a structure, develop a strategy, that how you're going to do this. And this is a research initiative. I won't know the answer कि इसका क्या आंसर है, आपको भी आज पता नहीं चलेगा, लेकिन you have to meet people and you have to kind of take advice from them कि जी मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ, I'm at point A, I want to go to point B, मुझे बताएं इसका what is the shortest path. Meet 10 people and ask them this question, जो कि इस इंडस्ट्री से बिलोंग करते हैं. So you get a very good answer from them. उनको मेंटोर बना कर उनसे पूछें जी मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ, मुझे एडवाइस करें कि मैं कैसे करूँ. These are people who
Are the doctors your main customers?
Yeah, yes, hospitals are. I'm making an MRI or ECG machine for movement disorders.
Good. That's very nice. So what you need to do is, like I said, I'm just recapping. You've already started getting a feel कि मुझे by meeting people, but you need to chart your trajectory from point A to point B, and ask people कि ये journey में क्या होगा, मुझे क्या क्या milestones होंगे, मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, and meet 10 people and ask them what this journey needs to be like and what you need to do for it, and then look at the data and the suggestions. Sit back and look at that data and then make your strategy. ठीक है? Okay? Good. Next question. You had a question, sir.
Yeah, you were saying initially that आपने pivot, your second pivot was from iOS Android application development.
That's what I started off. Then I went. We weren't able to sell it, but that was our fault.
Okay.
There was nothing wrong with iOS and Android. We weren't able to sell because हमने अपनी company को structure नहीं किया था ठीक तरह.
Okay.
We had no sellers, so we were all techies and no one was selling anything. We were paying salaries and there was no revenue, so we just shut it. Yeah.
The technology and the how to sell in products.
Okay, let me see if I captured the question correctly. You're saying how does technology sell?
The technology and the products जैसे बेचते हैं आपने जैसे बेची सेल कैसे की आपने
Saying as a technology entrepreneur, how did you go about selling and sales?
Selling myself or selling the product?
Selling the product.
product.
Okay. It's a very good question. So, how many technologists are there in the room, by the way, who are that description that I gave, techie wali, you hate salespeople, verbally description, or you used to hate salespeople. Okay, so then all of you are techies. Acha, being a techie is a good thing, but running a business is a totally different thing. So, okay, so this doesn't mean कि techies को business नहीं करनी चाहिए या entrepreneur नहीं बनना चाहिए. लेकिन ये दोनों full-time jobs हैं. Being a techie is a full-time job and being an entrepreneur is a full-time job. So the question then becomes, मैं आपका question अभी answer करूँगा, but I just want to touch on some other things. Question that becomes that which one are you going to do, because you can't do both full-time. आप techie रहेंगे या आप business को run करेंगे. अब जो business run करता है वो chief executive होता है या वो founder होता है, वो hire करता है techie को या techie उसका partner होता है. ठीक है? So when you're an entrepreneur, there's a lot of stuff you need to do. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया strategy है, फिर product को develop करना है, फिर finance generation है, फिर marketing है, sales है. So somebody needs to orchestrate that entire set of activities so that everybody is doing their job. The product is being developed, and the marketing and sales is doing some work, and there's some finance and there's some administration work. तो इस काम को कौन करेगा, right? So technologists who delve very, very deeply into technology and stay there and don't come out and become an entrepreneur, and that's your decision by the way. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि आप technologist से entrepreneur बन जाए, लेकिन अगर आपने technologist रहना है तो फिर you have to make a decision and you have to allow somebody else to do the entrepreneurial role, because that's a full-time job also. ठीक है? Now for example, I'll tell you what it's like today. As of today, I do consulting. Because I had a technology background, I'm able to do the selling in my meetings myself. खुद जाता हूँ, customer से मिलता हूँ, and we're able to, उसके question होते हैं, मैं खुद ही answer कर दे देता हूँ. लेकिन क्योंकि मैं ये काम कर रहा हूँ, I'm the door opener for the organization, I can't implement the pen testing project जब वो मिलता है. I can't go back and change hats and do the pen testing myself, because that's a full-time job also. ठीक है? तो you have to choose. Initially, you have to bootstrap and you have to do a lot of things, but this is not sustainable. You have to decide, am I going to be the CTO or am I going to be the CEO? And you obviously have to have a team, क्योंकि एक बंदे अगर एक ही बंदा सारे चार चीज़ें करेगा तो वो फिर लिमिट हो जाएगा. फिर आप एक सर्टन लेवल का काम करेंगे, ये भी नहीं है कि नहीं करेंगे, वो भी करेंगे, वो भी काम होगा आपका, लेकिन थोड़े से ज़्यादा लेवल का ऊंचा राइज नहीं कर सकेंगे. ठीक है? Now to answer this gentleman's question, okay, how did you manage to sell? You have to be able to sell, you have to go out and sell, and sell means you have to go out and meet customers, and when you go out and meet customers, you have to tell them कि जी हमारी product या service क्या है. And initially they will give you objections like they're giving this guy, कि वो कहते हैं जो आप तो लगता है कि 16 साल आपकी उम्र है और बेटा आपका PhD आप कहाँ से कर रहे हो, and that's very natural. ठीक है? तो शुरू में आपको लोगों को free काम करके देना पड़ता है. You have to have references in the beginning. You have to just say, "Gee, we'll make a product for you. We'll not charge you any money, but we need your reference." और आप आपको product develop करके दे देंगे और आप हमें guide करके बताएं कि ये ठीक है कि नहीं है. तो शुरू में जब आपने foot in the door करना होता है, तो सबसे पहली चीज़ ये होती है कि you need references. एक reference product करेंगे, दूसरा करेंगे, तीसरा करेंगे, चौथे पे आपने पैसे लेने. For example, right? Then you start, because your product starts improving. You understand how to deliver it. ये delivery model भी बड़ी important होती है. एक प्रोडक्ट को डिलीवर करने के लिए मार्केट में जब आपके पास एक्चुअली कोई कस्टमर आ जाता है, इवन इफ इट्स नॉट पेड, बट एक्चुअली हैव अ कस्टमर, राइट? ही इज गोइंग टू टेल यू व्हाट ही वांट्स. सो इफ यू डिलीवर, इफ यू गो थ्रू द डिलीवरी साइकिल once, twice, thrice, then you're really good. And the customer is now saying, even though he's not paying for it, you're investing in it, लेकिन आपकी कैपेबिलिटी हो जाती है. अब जो चौथा वाला जब आप जाएंगे, आपकी डिलीवरी साइकिल सारी आप कर चुके हैं. नाउ यू नो द इन्स एंड आउट्स, आपको अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स का पता है, आपको अपनी टीम की इंटरनल सिनर्जी क्रिएट हो गई हुई है. ऑल ऑफ दैट इज बीन डन. सो द फोर्थ टाइम यू एक्चुअली गो इनटू इट. तो सेलिंग का और कोई तरीका नहीं है. यू हैव टू गो आउट एंड मीट कस्टमर्स. इट कैन बी थ्रू डिजिटल मीडिया, इट कैन बी थ्रू डायरेक्ट सेल्स, इट कैन बी थ्रू एडवर्टाइजिंग, इट कैन बी थ्रू एनी ऑफ द मैकेनिज्म्स. And initially you will not get work, you may not get work because you're new and you don't have the credentials or you don't have references, so you have to create references. And this reference to create करने का यही तरीका है. Do it free. ठीक है? Sure.
Just to answer the gentleman's question, actually I'm Nahil's friend. Just don't want to go into my background, but I have some sales experience. The problem you are facing, that's natural. How to overcome it? There's that one of the gentlemen that I used to work with was a CEO of the company, and he had a card printed of CEO and CTO. So a little bit dishonest, but you know, whenever he used to go into negotiations, he used to present the CTO card, and when the negotiations would go on, and he would say, give us discount or whatever. So he would always say, I'm sorry, I work for, I don't know what our Dubai office will say. This is the maximum that I can offer. So, you know, I don't know if it's ethically right or wrong, or you would agree with it, but try to be that you just tell whoever the doctor sahab you go to, tell them, sir, you are like, make him feel important. Make him feel that he knows everything, and you are not the CTO, you are not the PhD or the somebody from even LUMS, because when the name LUMS comes up, you know, I mean, they think that, you know, you are back to you are belong to some special class. You just tell them that I'm just a salesman. I have some few questions, and I just want to get your answers. So if you can help me, I'll be very grateful. I know very little. I just know, and so just try to be as you know, I mean, how will I say, ignorant that you can be, and develop on his. Let him speak more, and you speak less. So that is one way of going about it.
Thanks very much. That's a very interesting perspective. So basically, he's saying the same thing, that make them your mentor, or seek guidance and help from them. Tell them that, look, we're coming up with this product, we need your help. Can you please guide us? So if you go with that approach, and that's actually what you need right now. So if you go, you see, people are ready to help if you ask them for help. अगर आप उनकी मदद मांगे तो लोग बहुत कुछ मदद करना चाहते हैं, and people really like it when somebody comes out and meets them. ये भी आप notice करेंगे, लोग enjoy करते हैं, वो अपने बारे में बताना enjoy करते हैं, वो appreciate करते हैं कि उनको कोई मिलने आया, जैसे ये कह रहे हैं उसको importance दें. ठीक है, that's a sales strategy. Sure. Next question.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something. Isn't it better कि he should go to some retired doctors जो कि ये जिनके पास time भी है और उनके पास they can give him some reference.
You can go anywhere. मतलब चाहे वो retired हो या current हो, anywhere. But you need to do those things which we suggest.
You get some endorsements. I mean, Nahil talked about making the other things more stronger to, you know, overcome this issue. That can be done. You have to put up an image which nobody would question. Don't let it get to that PhD part.
There's a lot of ways in which you can solve this, and it can be done. There's no issue. Carry on. You're doing a good thing. Okay. Next question. Shabash. Okay. Agla sawal ji. More questions? Okay. So did I answer your question about how to technology? Sales is a full-time job. अच्छा एक और चीज़ है sales से मुतालिक that sales people, when you see a salesperson, you can actually tell that this is a salesperson, because they will meet you in such a way that they will make you feel important. So the sales people and the marketing people are groomed in such a way that they know how to, with psychology and with their actions, they know how to appeal to the customer. Techies usually don't know how to do that. And it's a very hard transition to go from a techie to a salesperson, but it's not impossible. Okay? It's not impossible, but salespeople just know how to do this very well. Ji, please.
If your product, if you're selling a service to your market, how do you convince people? Like, they don't know they need this service, they need this training. How do you bring about this awareness, or, you know, create a need for it?
Okay, that's a good question. So she's asking if you have a service and not a product, then how do you convince them? I think it's the same. It's the same process. By the way, we sell a service. We don't have a product. We do consulting, and this is a very tough market for services. Okay, I can't really comment on product because I've never sold a product here. We sold somebody else's product, and it was very tough because we couldn't get the money out from the customers. So service the reason why we switched to service was because we had complete control over what we were delivering. If the customer was not paying, we can call and tell them the consultant will not show up tomorrow. You haven't paid our check yet. Okay, product में ये problem होती है कि you give them equipment and then you try to get money from them, so you're actually investing for the customer, which is not really what you should be doing. To answer your question, that how do you, for a service, how do you gain traction? How do you become successful in sales?
Like, you can't can't offer money back guarantee for this.
Your guarantee may not even be necessary.
Hmm.
Okay? So give me an example. What service are you, for
Teacher
example?
training.
Ji?
Teacher training.
Teacher training?
the teachers to teach better.
ठीक.
Yeah. So, how do you
Okay,
tell them? that you
okay. देखिए जो I usually tell this and I've shared this with Umair before. देखिए जब आप entrepreneur बनते हैं ना तो you're not in college anymore. College में performance कैसे measure होती है? Grades. तो you know if you get an A तो your parents आप खड़े होंगे your parents say शाबाश बेटा A मिला. और अगर C मिले तो क्या बोलते हैं? क्या मिला? फिर से बोलो. Tell me what was the grade? C and you're stared down upon and you're saying ज़्यादा पढ़ो और तुम्हारी वो वाली एक्टिविटी बंद है. Get better. Right? कुछ ऐसे ही होता है. And your teachers will do the same thing. Right? तो कॉलेज में तो ऐसे होता है. दुनिया में ऐसे नहीं होता. दुनिया में क्या होता है? The market which is in business. So all of you are business. All of these are business people now, right? You're entrepreneurs, which means you're business people. In the business people, what happens is some of you are more experienced and you already know this. Some of you are new and you may be learning this already. Your performance is measured in money. So the market is a very good but a very harsh teacher. And it starts teaching you at your own level of incompetence. Okay? Let me repeat that. The market is a very good but a very harsh teacher and starts teaching you from your own level of incompetence. If my incompetence level is down here, which means I don't have very many skills because I was a techie, I don't know how to do business, so it will start teaching me from this level. If I'm already very groomed and I've done 2 or 3 businesses, it will start teaching me at this level, but it will still teach me. And that teaching is in the form of money. If you are teaching and you make a mistake, then you lose money. You don't get a grade. C grade या F grade नहीं मिलेगा, आपके 4 लाख रुपए कटेंगे अकाउंट में से, नुकसान होगा आपको. But that's a lesson from the very good and very strict teacher, which is the market. Okay? तो आपका जितना भी level, so to succeed in business, you need a certain level of skills. वो skills आहिस्ता develop होती हैं. क्योंकि वो आहिस्ता develop होती हैं, you have to stay in the game. This is rule number 1. Okay? Now in 5 years I pivoted twice, which is इसका मतलब मैंने तीसरी दफ़ा मैंने successful business model को tweak किया. और ये सारी चीज़ें हम सुनते हैं कि you start off and you start doing something, right? And doing something is better than overthinking, over planning and not doing anything and just doing everything in your laptop but not making any movement. That's better because you will go out, you will make some mistakes, you will learn, you will meet people, you will learn of challenges, and then you will start tuning your business model. Okay? So selling a service requires a strategy in terms of how am I going to do this, what is my target market, who is my competition, what is the price going to be, what is the service like, how am I going to deliver this. ये सारी चीज़ें जो कि business की हैं जो कि आप यहाँ पे कर रहे होंगे already LC में, ठीक है. लेकिन जब तक आप जाके swimming pool में उतरेंगे नहीं तो you won't learn, and the market reality is going to be very different from what you may be planning in your laptop. So the good thing is that you should actually go out and do something, and it doesn't have to be perfect. In the beginning, don't expect if you will go out and make big money on your first sales call. It may take 6 months before you actually get it right. Okay? But that's worth it because now you're learning a skill for life. Okay? So, ये आपके जो questions हैं ये बड़े अच्छे questions हैं. Sell कैसे करना है, technology को कैसे sell करना है, service को कैसे sell करना है, how do I sell my new medical thing. And we are here to give you all the guidance that is possible, but your experience in the swimming pool will be entirely different from what we're trying to teach you. वो वाला जो आपका experience है जब आप हाथ पाँव मारेंगे and you're going to get some water in your mouth, वो necessary है. And you have to let the market teach you, and you have to stay in the game so that you become आहिस्ता, you overcome your skill issues and you become better and better and better and better, and then you get it right. Okay, so this is the journey, which it is a journey because it's a learning journey. And you know what? I'll tell you something. The senior entrepreneurs or the more experienced entrepreneurs, they just make mistakes at a much higher level. They're also making mistakes because you can only learn by making mistakes. However, mistake का ये होता है कि चलो एक दफ़ा mistake कर ली, सीख लिया. Mistake equals learning in entrepreneurship, right? There's no other way to learn. But you shouldn't make the same mistake twice. वही वाली गलती दोबारा नहीं करनी चाहिए. You should go to a new mistake. Okay, which means go to a new learning actually. ठीक है? Question.
The question is कि if you are selling a product or a service which market is not ready for example, so what is the right way to go about that?
Okay. That's a very interesting question. So the market is not ready for it. So if the market is not ready for it, it means you have no customers, potential customers. But that may be a perception issue. Okay. So can you give me an example? For example, what are you trying to build?
For example, I can talk about my own startup. That I am providing funeral burial services.
Funeral and burial services?
Yeah.
This is very much required. How do you think that this is not required? We have a lot of people are dying out there.
Yeah.
So they need funeral and burial services.
But the problem is that because the social structure, it's taking time to actually take off because of the society and the family structure that we having joint families rather than having nuclear families. So that's creating an issue. Whereas people are not.
How long have you been doing this?
6 months.
तो अभी तो आप 6 महीने में तो you see this is in my humble opinion you think that these are the challenges. अगर बड़ा अच्छा सा idea भी हो ना जैसे वो teacher training करनी है, this is not a new idea, right? This is a very simple idea. We had teachers for thousands of years and their training has been done for hundreds of years, so it's not a new idea. उनको भी 6 महीने में वही challenges होंगे जो आपको हो रहे हैं. 6 महीने ऐसा पीरियड है कि आप कोई भी चीज़ करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो आपको उसमें challenges होंगे. Because people don't know you, they don't trust you, your product is not ready, your service delivery model is not ready, you don't have the right amount of money, you don't have a team, you don't have an office. ये सारे challenges आपको होंगे. So I believe your issue may not be that your product is not, the market is not ready for your product. You just haven't been in the game long enough. So you haven't quite picked up how best you can market this. Because you can't expect somebody to 6 months they'll get it right. I don't expect you to get it right in 6 months. In 6 months, I expect you should just be worrying कि मैंने 15 या 20,000 घर वापस कैसे लेके जाने. I don't know. You know, you maybe have to teaching. You maybe have to train teachers in the afternoon or in the evening. Get that 25,000 rupees home, so at least your kitchen can run. In the first 6 months, that's the issue. And this service, I think it's a great idea. And it's very innovative, and I think we need it a lot because we have so many people and so many people are dying. Because we have so many people. But this market, anything related to people is a great idea because we have so many. We have, you know, everybody needs soap, everybody needs toothpaste, everybody needs clothes, slippers, food, all these basic things. You know, eyeglasses, notebooks, watches, because we have so many people. And since people are obviously going to die and there is no way out, so I think it's a great business idea. I think that's wonderful. Good, it's very innovative. And I think that you can be very successful. But you need to be in the game long enough. Okay. Acha, Umair, you want to, we've taken the microphone away from you for too long.
No, I wasn't supposed to talk, but I'd just like to add one thing. Nothing happens in 6 months. That's absolutely right. And secondly, it doesn't matter if you're a techie or if you're a sales guy. It's all about working, you know, probably for a longer period of time and working harder. So anything is achievable. There are shitty products out there that, you know, sell, and people are able to sell them. So there's no way your product isn't going to service or product isn't going to be successful if you put the same amount of hard work that is required.
बिल्कुल. अच्छा देखिए, ask yourself this question. आप अपने आप से पूछिए as customers. जो अच्छा restaurant, name a favorite restaurant of yours. Sir, आप बताएं. Favorite restaurant in Holland?
Gino's.
Gino's. Okay. Would you like to tell us your favorite restaurant?
There's one in H Block, Chatkara. It's very
Okay.
cheap.
Your favorite
Very good.
restaurant is, I know what it is.
I have many actually.
No, actually, there's
I
only
could
one
fill up
place we
pages.
always meet. You don't get to meet anywhere else other than that.
Okay, so tell me your favorite restaurant.
KFC.
Oh, really? We need to talk afterwards. That's called junk food. Okay, but anyway, we respect your opinion. जी मैडम आप बताइए. Okay, a lot of money needed to go there. Okay, very good. आप बताइए. ठीक है, nice choice. आप बताइए.
Naidu's.
Government Grill. Started with it.
Village.
Are you in the same team? You two?
No.
Okay.
Chai khana.
Cafe J.
You don't have one. You should
Yeah,
make
actually.
one. Why do you like this restaurant? ये बताएं.
Good food and environment.
ठीक है. Is it consistent?
Yes.
Wherever you go, can you expect to have the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. What's their service like? When you go there and you order something, does it always taste the same? This is your favorite restaurant,
Yes.
right? So you've already tried like 50 restaurants, or being a Lahore, you've tried 250 restaurants, and you like 3. Okay. So this is you as a consumer. Now everybody else as a consumer is exactly the same. What do they want? They want good quality product. They want good service. They want reliability. They want कि जब मैं जाऊँ बंदू खान तो बंदू खान की दुकान खुली हो. ये ना हो कि यार वो हर 4 दिन के बाद कभी खुली होती है कभी बंद होती है. The food should be hot. It should taste nice. Price should be printed. It should be transparent, and it should not make me sick. All people are like that. These are the things that they want in every product. It's just a matter of learning the skills and making your service or your product so it delivers these things. Because everybody loves good products and good restaurants, and good toothpaste and good shoes and good shirts and good houses and good teacher training and good medical stuff. And it's all the same. It's very simple actually. There's a huge demand for reliable, cost-effective, good quality products, and your product cannot fail, provided it doesn't sit on the shelf and no one is selling it. ठीक है, product का अच्छा होना ज़रूरी है और आपको sell करने की ज़रूरत है, लेकिन you see the dynamics of business are very simple actually. इतना कोई complex नहीं है. You need to have a good. Just think of the restaurant. Why does the restaurant exist? Why do you like it? वो जो characteristics उस restaurant की हैं वो आपने अपने product में भी वही वाली लेके आए. और क्यों? Why do people just keep showing up at Gourmet Grill and keep showing up at Gourmet? Why is it always full? Why is it always full? क्यों लोग उधर जाते हैं? Are they there's other restaurants down the street. क्यों जाते हैं वहाँ पे? They always show up there. It's very simple. Those things for which you go there, those are the things people want in your product. And if you make them and you let people know and you stay in the game long enough, definitely it will sell. So in the market there is a lot of room for salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, मैं बचपन में जब था ना तो इन्होंने burger start किया था. And this is 1983 when I showed up in this market. उस वक्त से चल रहा है 1983 का burger और आज का बिल्कुल same. There is, I think, nothing has changed. It's so consistent. ठीक है? So actually things are not that complicated. Things are very simple. The only thing we are trying to do is we're trying to learn those skills कि यार ये जो इन्होंने जैसे अपने product को successful किया मैंने कैसे करना है? मेरी team, मेरा product, मेरी delivery, मेरी price, मेरे finance, etc. That's the thing you need to. And market is a good teacher. It will teach you, but it will charge you. This is not a university class. Okay? It will charge you. You have to stay in the game long enough. And to stay in the game long enough, you have to have enough commitment ताकि you are not considering कि मैं नौकरी ना कर लूँ, मैं ये ना कर लूँ, मैं वो ना कर लूँ, क्योंकि वो अगर आप सोचेंगे तो फिर आप कर नहीं सकेंगे. और ये tough job है. This is not easy, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. There is nothing you can do better in your life than to become an entrepreneur. But please don't be deceived by the glamour and by the fluff and by the stories of how somebody became a millionaire overnight. People, what people sometimes don't tell us is the massive amount of hard work that they put in for 15 years before they actually got it right. You just see an entrepreneur and they say, and they walk, drive up in a Mercedes and they have this huge building and they have 200 people working for them and they'll come and tell you, yeah, we were lucky. So, it's not easy. Like I told you, in this market, making an honest living is a very tough job. मेहनत करनी पड़ती है आपको, okay? So, but the things are very simple actually. The dynamics, when you look at them and examine them, जो achieve करना है वो तो हमें पता है कि क्या है, क्योंकि हमें favorite restaurant हमारा भी है. वही चीज़ें आपने करनी है, उसको करने में time लगेगा, वक्त लगता है. बच्चा पैदा होने में 9 महीने लगते हैं, right? एक छोटा सा जो पौधा होता है उसको दरख्त बनने में कई बार 2 साल लग जाते हैं, 6 महीने लग जाते हैं, साल लग जाते हैं, फिर वो फल देता है. Don't expect your entrepreneurship efforts to bear fruit in like 36 days and 15 hours and 42 minutes. It's not good. It doesn't work that way. Okay? ठीक है? Good. But like I said, you're doing the best possible thing you can do with your life. Why is that, by the way? Why are you doing the best thing possible with your life? now I'll start asking you people questions.
Living
Independence.
Well, I think
Living
you're
under the
creating something
potential
new.
because-
Sorry.
When you're making a new product, you're innovating in a way that you're introducing some new product in the market. You're changing people's lives because if they use
But वो तो आप Nestle में भी कर सकते हैं.
I don't
Developing
think
a new product as a slave.
I don't think you have
and
that much control.
Changing people's lives. वो तो Nestle में भी हो
No,
सकता
I don't think you have that much control because when you're an entrepreneur, you're wearing different hats. But when you're in a big company, you're doing a small role.
है. Okay. ठीक है, control. Good keyword, control over what you're doing. हाँ जी, आप कुछ कह रहे हैं.
आप अपना जो हार्ड वर्क करें उसका जो आपको डायरेक्टली बेनिफिट है वो आपके पास खुद जा रहा है.
हाँ, नुकसान भी खुद होता है.
But still, I've seen my
ठीक है.
father work hard for the government but not getting enough.
Direct linkage between reward and effort. वो detach जितना हो हम उतने demotivate हो जाते हैं. जितना करीब हो, अच्छा काम करेंगे तो reward मिल जाए. वो करीब हो तो you kind of as human beings are happier. अच्छा और बताएं, why is entrepreneurship the best possible thing you can do with your life? इन्होंने control का है, इन्होंने कहा है that reward और effort का gap bridge करीब करने के लिए.
Because you don't work under the orders of the boss.
You're no longer taking orders which are meaningless. ठीक है, okay. So you're
He's
not
actually one of my employees.
Oh really? अच्छा, very good. ठीक है. हाँ, ठीक है. All right. So अच्छा ठीक है, very good. और बताएं. क्यों? Why are you doing this and why are you not doing anything? मैं तो 15 साल I lost all my hair and turned 40 and I realized that this is a dead end street. So I actually experienced that. You are young people and you are becoming entrepreneurs. So why did you choose to become entrepreneurs? Do you know why you're an entrepreneur?
I need to change the world by setting up the environment and structure.
Okay, that's a very nice dreamy statement. But first you need to change yourself to change the world. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a very nice quotation by I think Aristotle or somebody. When I was young, I had passion and I wanted to change the world. Now I'm old and wise and I only want to change myself. ठीक है, तो product में yes, that's a good dream, but it's a lot of fluff also. Because अगर there's a nice dream and no execution, तो फिर it's called daydreaming. उसके पीछे execution plan delivery भी होनी चाहिए. Okay? And by the way, you may have to travel on a bicycle for 6 months on public transport to achieve your dream. So what I'm trying to tell you is the hardcore reality, ground reality can be very tough when you're a student at that level, when you're allowing the market to teach you. The glamour will come at some time if you're in the game long enough and if you're successful. And by the way, not everybody is successful. Some people fail miserably and they lose money and then they quit. But hopefully you will not be in one of those people. Okay? All right? So some people fail and some people succeed. But that's also a learning. So people pivot after that. They say, "Yaar, acha, maine to galti ki, isliye mujhe nuksan hua." So then they do it differently. So that happened to me 2 times and now I'm doing it the 3rd time and alhamdulillah we learned it. Because I started like here. I started right here. You maybe started here. Okay? Okay? Question?
So I asked what critical mistakes you did?
Well, I did all the critical mistakes.
Yeah, but there are some generic mistakes.
I did all of them. But I'll tell you about my mistakes, but it's a long discussion. How much more time do we have?
Actually, just a couple minutes.
Okay, fine. Acha, I'd like to answer this question that I asked myself and then I'll answer your question also. And then we can continue sitting after this. They can close off the video and we can keep sitting and have some tea and etc. Okay? Like I have some time and if you have time, we can keep chatting. If you are getting some benefit from this discussion, obviously. You need to know why you're an entrepreneur. And I'll tell you why you need to be an entrepreneur. You see, we came into this world for a mission. Okay? So we didn't just come into this world as a sport and a pastime. There's a reality to why we were created. That is the purpose of being a human, the purpose of your creation, and the being that created you for a purpose. So when you get as old as I am, the questions become harder. And I mentioned this at one of the events done by Umair in the past. The quality of your success is determined by the quality of your questions. You must ask yourself good questions. And one of the best questions is, what is the purpose of my existence? Why was I created? Who created me? What is my purpose in life? What's going to happen to me? Okay? So these are good fundamental questions. You ask them when you reach this stage, when you lose all your hair and etc. You may not be asking this question right now. Associated with that, the answer to that question is, how do I want to live my life? What do I want to do with my life? And the activities that you will want to do in your life, which will give you happiness and satisfaction and contentment, which is the objective of all of us. And there are a few ways to achieve that. The fulfillment and the contentment and the happiness is more closely associated with having more control over your life and what you want to do with your life, because there was a purpose to why you were created. So if you understand and try to ask yourself why were you created, then there's a mission, and to achieve that mission, if you keep doing that job and your boss keeps telling you very, very small tasks, so this means you can't realize the potential of your existence. And God didn't create you for a small purpose. God created you for a very big purpose, and you have an entire capability within you. This is a beautiful quotation by Rumi. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire universe in a drop, which is you. So all the universe's capabilities and reflection is in you. So you can do great things. You have been designed to achieve great things. And the job does not extract all of your skills and your capabilities and just asks you to do very little. Because at the end of the day, I want my driver to stay a driver and keep taking 17,000 rupees. Because if he thinks big and wants to do more, then who's going to drive my car? You see? So although I have sympathies with my driver because he also has kids and he wants to do well in life, but I still need a driver. So your employee always wants you to remain an employee because you fit in that box. But that's not the purpose of your creation, to fill in a box. That's somebody else's dream. So this is a more fundamental question. Why were you created? What do you want to achieve in your life? When you're 80 years old, what do you want to say to yourself? What have you done? What have you achieved? Your contentment, happiness, fulfillment, what have you done to achieve that? When you try to answer those questions, you want control over your life, you want to make decisions about what you want to do, and entrepreneurship is the way to do it. Because you will get enough time to do the things that you really want to do. You will have enough liberty and, what that gentleman mentioned, independence. So it's a deeper question. It's a much deeper question. This is about our existence. And doing a job will not help you get there. You will be miserable because somebody is directing and pulling strings all the time. But so I learned it through my experience that it's a dead-end street. And fulfillment and doing something bigger is not possible in a job environment. If you haven't experienced it yourself, then you may fall back because you don't know how restrictive it is. You may fail in your first startup and you say, "Ammi keh rahe ki job kar lo, to main job karne laga." Right? So you have to know that why you are doing what you're doing. Okay? So let's stop the recording part, and I'm still here. I won't go away.